welcome to Critical Tumble, where a bunch of longtime friends and internet nerds transcend geography through the power of Discord to play Dungeons and Dragons, and either critically fumble a lot or roll just plain poorly. Previously, after dealing with multitudinous amounts of shit in Gray's Inn, and a brief stopover back at Hearthhome after briefly abducting Belarus barman who used to work with the quick flight diminutives to help build effectively a holy nuke, like a holy hand grenade, only bigger. But yes, we don't have an Antioch. I am terribly sorry about that. The Cupcake Coterie have currently teleportation circled into the basement / dungeons of Blackgrown Castle. The sneaking went moderately well, if you take it as an average, kind of, sort of, maybe.
Sneaking is going fine. Entirely fine.
The Team Human passing got fairly far. Alice is currently disguised as a high up individual. Not quite Captain, because Captain was in other room, but basically a step down from them. Then they went looking around. They found the stairs up to the next level. They also found 3 guards who were being fed the black shit. Potentially for longer than just that one meal. We don't know. All we know for sure is that they are currently mutating as we speak. From there, they moved on to what turned out to be the Horde Room, which, I mean, floor to ceiling, nearly wall to wall. And they're not entirely sure if Palor's beacon is in there. They kind of hope it isn't, because nobody sensed anything good in or radiant or celestial, with the exception of Alice, in that entire place. What Remy did sense was significant amounts of evil further down, sort of in a, if looking at the map, that fog of war area in a northeasterly direction. They paused as they were sneaking in that general direction to see what it might be. Team Not So Human passing, apart from Farida, who is currently sort of standing to make sure that nobody's going to block their way to the teleportation circle should they need it. Snuck. Well, okay, walked. Some snuck, but not many. And found what turned out to be the dungeon areas. Some were less pleasant than others. Long dead turtle. At least 4 rooms that were sludgified. One very heavily mutated rat, a la Arcane, but oozier. 3 small halfling children. And a potentially humanoid bundle curled up on the bench at the far wall of an apparently clean cell. An argument was starting about whether or not they were going to be unlocking that one. But before we go into that, let's get back to Team Human passing. So you guys are heading in to that general direction. And going along the corridor, what you find is a small, well, very narrow corridor. There's just barely enough room for one of you to be walking. and pretty solid looking single door. I'll say looks over and it doesn't look like it's trapped, and it doesn't look locked either.
Seems a bit suspicious, doesn't it?
Well, given that this is where Ree was sensing stuff, I guess it would probably make sense that they don't. It can defend itself, whatever it is.
True.
That is true.
Which begs the question: do we even want to see what's in there? Do we have any choice?
I don't think we do.
No.
Do we
don't
wanna
think
do
I
it?
look at that.
Well, yeah, okay.
Well, at this point, they can't be too far. The rest of them can't be too far away,
Right.
and it can't be anything overly big. Well, I suppose if they were strong enough, they could just punch through the walls, but in that case, I don't think it matters that much whether we have backup or not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll say, opens the door, and what you find is basically another one of those circular rooms looking a lot like the teleportation circle room, except instead of a teleportation circle, there's a trap door. That's a lot of face.
Did we just find the wellspring?
I
Uh,
don't know. We haven't opened the trapdoor yet. It could be a wellspring, it could be a fake wellspring of the type we found in Gray's Inn. We don't know.
Right.
I could get up closer and divine sense again, try to get a clearer picture of if there is a concentration directly below us.
Yeah, I should flag up that, thinking about it, a thing I did neglect to mention, that some of that feeling of ick was actually coming from directly below you as well. The first time you did it, so something's going on below. Sorry, that was my bad.
No problem.
And given where we are and circumstances and such, I'm so not gonna try to do anything of detecting magic or anything like that right at the moment,
Probably not a
because
good idea.
ouch.
I don't even know if that stuff necessarily qualifies as magic.
Yeah, that too. And that's all I can do, unfortunately. So
And, we already know there's evil down there,
right.
Mhm.
but we don't. The problem is we don't know what we're gonna find down there. I think at this point we probably need to regroup with the others.
Be a good idea.
Fair plan.
See what they think about it.
Mhm.
Little more radiant wouldn't hurt anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And off you go. Again, people's passive perceptions.
13.
11.
Ava?
12.
Yeah, as you're walking down the corridor, Alice kind of holds up a hand. Wait. And that's when Ava at least hears it. It's a ungainly, shuffling step. A fairly heavy one.
Indicating I hear something. I
Yeah,
ready
that's
put my hand on my blade.
if it's anything from in here, you might want your bow. And what you wind up with, if I can do the thing. You don't know if that's one guard or multiple sort of smushed together. It's too mutated to tell. But it's heading pretty unerringly in your general direction. And here's where I start putting this. I'll say it was sort of up at the head there. Ava, who heard it next, it'd be right behind. Remy there. And Darvin right behind. Alyssa kind of looks back and at you guys and is just, well, it's heading directly for us. Stealth is blown anyway. And steps out. And I would like, we'll start with it being Remy, Ava, and Darvin rolling initiative. Actually, no, everybody should, because I'm sure you guys will be hearing this. Assuming you all don't get higher initiative rolls than us.
Well, you called it. Hazel had
Remy?
a 20.
Yeah, not the only one. We really should
Remy's
not be
stuck behind
surprised.
people.
Yeah, but
Hazel's a little high strung right now.
Hazel's, yeah. Well, that's fantastic. Okay, so that's so that's 18, 19, 20. Well, if it helps, at least 2 people go before everybody else, so that's good. We have well, Farada's all the way over there, so she's gonna have after in the initiative. So actually no. Ava first because closer.
Have a
Darvin
dex
next.
three.
Yep, that's part of why. And also you were the one directly behind, so it makes a certain amount of sense.
Indeed.
So that's... Oh god. Some of you rolled really shit, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear grief, poor Barnabas.
He's built for comfort, not for speed.
Okay, that's the quote of the night right there.
In what, 20 minutes? We already got the quote for the episode? Got it.
For
Sometimes
now.
it's like that, at least for now. But I love that.
Yeah.
New record.
Yeah, that describes me. Hell. And I'm not talking about Darwin. I'm talking me.
Same here.
Yep.
There are definite advantages to being huggable.
I'm in shape. Round is a shape.
Excuse me, you want to look at a few more of us and
No.
I was gonna say, if we're gonna talk about being round, get on my level.
Considering how many donuts I ate yesterday on the ride, yeah, I'm getting there. That was a mistake, by the way. Don't eat that many donuts on a long road trip. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Barnabas would take that as a challenge.
Yeah, Brian would also take that as a challenge.
Hazel would probably take it as a challenge as well.
It would depend on the donuts for Hazel, I think.
Probably.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking just like your normal Dunkin' Donuts, yeah, but if it's a good donut, all bets are off.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is petrol station donuts.
Okay, you have a point there.
Okay, yes. Anyway, this is going to be fun. Okay, yes. Because I'll say frankly, be like that. 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, good. We can get up in its face. That might actually be one of the least intelligent things that she's done in a while, but eh. Can I actually put her in the PCs? There we go. Okay. Well, we're going to do some funkiness. And first we actually have to roll attacks. See if anything hits. 1 hits. Good. For that, we'll be using brand shiny new Blinding Smite. So that's an extra 3d8 radiant. Jesus Christ. Damage calculations. Huzzah. Oh, there we go. So the 3d8 for the radiant. 12, 18. Scimitar. 27. 39 points of damage. She still hits like a truck. Oh, Constitution saving for this little bastard. Oh, good. It's actually one of the few things it's not immune to.
Oh no.
No, this is a good laugh. This is apparently all the nat ones want to be on enemies.
I'll take it.
Yep.
We take that. We take those.
We absolutely take those.
Oh, right.
Oh, that's going to be fun. This thing apparently has a fuck you laser of necrotic.
Yeah, boy.
So that's... Yes! Made the deck save. No, half as much damage. Oh, okay, so that's 3d6 of lightning. 16. No, wait. 16. 8, because I'm taking half. So that's 15 combined bits of ow as this blackish green energy bolt just down the corridor. And thankfully, nobody else was in reach. And then it makes 3 attacks all its own. This thing is not pleasant. I will flag that up to you right now, and it really dislikes Alice at the moment. Okay. Oh, disadvantage, right, blinded, good. Now you're rolling well. Fantastic. Okay, so that's... this is going to hurt. 3d10... Fuck.
Jeez.
14... 19, because 3d10 plus 5. Piercing damage, so... Okay. Claws. That thankfully misses. And tentacle slap. No, that's gonna hit. D6 plus 5 bludgeoning. 9 points of bludgeoning. Plus... Ugh. 3d6 psychic. 12 points of psychic. Ow! And she's grappled. She can attempt to escape on next turn. Hazel, you're hearing a lot of actually, I should put you guys on the map too, because you guys were kind of, I'm assuming Hazel was by door, with Lump.
By the doorway
Yep.
that I wanted to open.
Yep. You and Barnabas there. Clarity probably spotting Hazel kind of there. Rylan there-ish. So yeah, Hazel's hearing combat noise.
Swivel. Fuck. And I'm just beelining in that direction. I'm gonna bulldoze Rylan out of the way if I have to.
Keep in mind that's just the places that you're not occupying
If
that
I
full
have
5
to.
feet. Yes.
Yeah, if I have to. I'm just
5,
taking the path of least
10.
resistance, which is through the elf.
20, 25, 30. Yeah, so you're
I
kind of
am
there.
not a path of least resistance.
Compared to
have-
Barnabas,
I have morals and feelings, goddammit.
yes, but what you don't, yes, but what Barnabas has those things too, and the other thing he has that you do not is muscle mass.
I will concede to muscle.
That's pretty much it at this stage. You got your 30 feet, and
Just running, swearing.
Ava, I mean, you kind of have to. I mean, you saw boing down the corridor, but Alice A did what Alice A do. So I'm assuming that you're moving at least 5, 10 to be
Little bit.
there.
Yep.
Yeah, so Alice A is looking incredibly beaten up and also wrapped around by tentacle on hugely mutated former possibly human. It's impossible to tell anymore, but this thing has been mutated all to shit.
Would I know if I use ensnaring strike that would make Alice even more grappled, or would it just?
Probably not something you want to risk because I
Fair
mean,
enough.
to be fair, there's not a whole lot of space for people there anyway.
I can't really do lightning arrow because that might.
Only if you're rolling at 1. The odds are not. And okay, I know with roll 20, but
But I meant more. Wouldn't the electricity like go through both of them?
has it ever actually worked that way? I'm not that mean.
I mean, I don't know.
It'd be different if say you were setting the whole damn thing on fire.
Fair. All right.
But
well, I'll try lightning arrow then. Well, hunter's mark bonus action,
okay.
and then. Oh no, wait, I can't do both. Because they're both concentration. Where is the other one? Slayer's Prey. Yeah, Slayer's Prey, then lightning arrow.
Okay. No, that does not hit.
Second shot.
That does in fact hit. So that's 10 points of damage on this thing, actually. Need to double check something. Okay, so that lightning damage, which reads ice for some reason, I will edit later, is actually halved to 3. It's resistant to lightning, apparently. It's not doing the damage you think it should be doing. So that's 7 points of damage.
To try.
So that was action, bonus action. Okay, yep. Darvin. You also saw Bweem.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step out to be next to Ava.
So there. Bink.
So that way I can at least see what's going on, and I see Alex, they grappled, so I quickly rethink the idea of getting closer, because I'm like, oh, if that's technically and grabby, then I don't want to get closer, and I don't want to risk hitting Alice. So the old standby, fling the hand out, make like the flying knife through the air noises for magic missile, casting at. Go back to my spells real quick to double check. That is a level 1 spell, isn't it?
Mhm.
Where'd it go?
Yep.
Yep.
There it is. Sorry, it's on the bottom of my list. Took me a second to scroll. So then I'll cast that at 3rd level. So that will be an extra 2. Yeah, that'll be an extra 2 bolts.
Okay, as you're doing that, can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh, all right. One moment.
It's got some interesting reaction shit.
Got to turn my
18.
grade in.
Okay, you make it. There's not so much bleam, but that you felt the feeling of this thing making attempts on people's minds. It's definitely going for your head, but
Okay, in which case,
well, you can't change how upcast you are. By the way.
oh no, not at all, not at all. No. Okay, so
Yeah,
then I
that
will
that
still.
that would have hit you. Sorry, because I thought you rolled. This
I
would
hadn't rolled
hit.
yet.
Yeah, this would hit you after the magic missile.
And that okay.
Because it's a reaction. So
To my magic missile. Got
Yes.
you. Okay, that makes sense. Give me 2 seconds to roll that, and then after the magic missiles, that's when he shouts or says something along the lines of "It's got head fuckery," for lack of a better way to put it. It's trying to get into my brain. 1, 2, 3. That's 1st level, and then 2nd level, and then 3rd level.
Okay, so that's 6.
6, 10, 14, 16.
8, 10. Yes, I found it. Going the other way was a little easier. Yep. Okay. Farida. Stealth has even from where you are. You're hearing this, not very clearly, but Darvin's yelling, and some very odd noises were happening, and we should put you where you are. To be fair, you're kind of pacing near the door.
Okay. I'll move far as long as I can there.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah. That's the approximate. Yeah. Okay.
Basically, aside from that, would be a dash action to basically move again.
Okay, so where do you want to move to? I mean, because if you 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, you get to about there, and you're just, okay.
I'd want to be not in line of sight.
Well, you
Yeah.
can just back up, because it
Yeah.
kind of is. Run around corridor. Nope.
Yeah.
Okay. Clarity. Hazel's apparently heard something and is going Noom.
I am going to run that way also and bonus action dash to get even farther.
Yeah, okay, 5, 10. It's everybody going through Ryland today. 10, 20, 25, 30, 10. It sees Faraday in the corridor. Do you want to kind of stop where she is? Because apparently she doesn't want to go out there.
I'm going to risky business slide past her.
Swoop, and that.
Daggers.
You can't if you dash, though, can you? Oh,
Rogues can
bonus
bonus
action
action.
dash for
I
rogue
had
miss.
just remembered. Everybody, please stop jumping on me. I have never played a rogue. Leave me alone. I only remembered that from friggin' Celasta.
Okay, so first attack. Oh, Jesus.
Nope.
Oh no.
Second attack. 15.
That does hit. Roll damage.
Woohoo. 8 piercing. And do I get sneak attack since it's
Yeah.
engaged?
Yeah.
Sweet. 18.
Okay.
Sneak attack is still really good, as it turns out.
Yeah, this one's
That's the most damage
this
Clarity has made in a long time.
Nyx is currently rogue in Saturday campaign, so Yeah, that did it an ouch.
Ha cha cha.
Remy.
Remy does some measurements.
No, keep in mind you can diagonal, so it'd be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, so you can't quite get.
Yeah, she gets as far as she can.
Okay.
And then she will do guiding bolt. Bolt 2. Nice.
Very nice.
And somebody gets advantage on the next attack.
Whoever attacks next
Whoever
gets
the
advantage.
next is.
Well, no, whoever next hits. Because sometimes even advantage, you miss both. So
Mhm.
that's 26.
Whoever
30.
next takes a swing, rather.
Yeah. But except I think.
Guiding bolt has advantage on next attack, and whether or not it hits is up to whether the advantage succeeds.
Anyway. Next attack has advantage, and if it does actually hit, we see where we go from there. Rylan, you've been kind of buffed into the wall a couple of times.
I'm just like, what in the fuck is happening? And I'm just running up as far as I can, just like, what did you hear exactly? 'Cause
Listen,
Well, yeah, you had heard clarity. Well, you probably heard Farida going, "Whoop, nope,"
okay,
and then
confusion.
sort of clarity skid, yeah, fling.
Hearing more confusion in the sounds of combat. Understood.
Okay, yes, Barnabas.
Well, if everybody else is moving,
So yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you're kind of at the door, and if you lean out, you can see kind of Farida sort of peering out just a little bit to see what the hell is going on, but just trying to be behind the wall.
what in the goddamn?
You'll see that. Say that even more when you see it.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, top of the round, LSA is going to, attempt to wiggle. And yeah, LSA is out. Bonus action. Just fuck a bunch of this. She is at the very least going to attempt to kick this thing. And not going to succeed. Okay, that's fine. Now this thing is equally not displeased, but it's also in a significant amount of pain. And as you watch, some of the wounds that it's taken from various spots, it's not so much that they heal, it's that things are mutating to close the wounds. So yeah, I mean, Clarity's seeing at least one of them going sort of the one in its back is kind of oozing into this kind of massive tumors. And thankfully, it was your ash dagger, or else you're not entirely sure what would be stuck in it. And that's just its mutation thing, so... And it's actually still only got one person in immediate range. Yay.
Uh-oh.
Oop.
We
We
lost
could have lost a
Smeagol.
Smeagol.
Which is a shame, because Smeagol is next, but I'm gonna keep rolling. Actually, first thing I need to do is... Ooh. Actually, given clarity, you're probably hearing 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 things coming
Yep.
out at around there. That would be going... Yeah, you've heard something.
My
moving.
whole building's internet just tapped out.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
That's what I was worried about. Thank you, Mother Nature, for all of the rain.
I'm still so weirded out by by people having their telephone lines and power lines above ground. But I mean, earthquakes. We don't have those here, and we will continue not to until such time as hopefully hopefully they don't start fracking. Anyway, yeah, so Clarity is hearing some approaches of things.
Something's coming.
Dumb bit.
We did not hear that very well.
Dumb part is I have power, but for some reason the entire internet connection just spontaneously failed.
Yeah, well, like I say, phone and power lines. So, I don't know. Maybe wherever server building, I have no idea. I mean, do you want to be staying? Or do you want me to run Hazel for you while you're... Because we're getting...
Everything's a little delayed, but
a little... We're getting visual hiccup everywhere.
I'm currently trying to get to a space where my connection is a little better. 1 second.
Get a
Infinite
tour.
hallway.
Is that better?
A little bit, but are you gonna be... I mean, this is gonna involve you sitting on the stair... What the hell?
I had to leave my room for this to work.
Yes, also, I don't know if you intended this or not. We're staring at the halls and not your face.
Yeah, we've been looking at you swinging that thing around at room and corridor rather than you. It's like watching a let's play of one of those of one of those walking simulators.
Oh dear.
We've all been
That's
clocked to
That
this
was the
afternoon.
intent.
Oh. Best I can do is here.
Oh, we'll see how it goes anyway. So yeah, okay, this thing missed with the teeth. Missed with the claws. And hit with the tentacle. Again. Actually, fuck this. Thankfully, misses. Good. Okay, great. Not grappled, but still smacking an awful lot. So that's d6 plus 5. Bludgeoning damage, so that's 10 bludgeoning plus 8 psychic. So yeah, ow. Like, so much ow. Hazel.
So,
Yeah.
who's still in my way?
Barnabas again. Door, and as you're moving, 5, 10 Faraday.
Fuck's sake, people, get out of the way!
I'm like against the wall, to be fair.
Yeah, but still, it's
Not a big corridor.
15, 20.
It's not a big corridor.
Yeah, 25, and then you see the horrible mutated thing.
Can I see anyone beyond it, injured or otherwise?
Well, Alice is not hard to spot. You don't really know how injured she is because this thing is big. But there's been a moderate amount of swearing from her, so...
Cast healing word. And am I within reach of this? Am I within the reach of, like, behind this thing?
Well, that was 20. 25 can get you right up to it.
Yeah, I want to be up behind it.
Yeah, okay.
So that I can do flanking things.
Okay. So, you said healing word. Do you want me to...
Yeah.
Want me to roll that?
Yeah. Yeah, just roll, cast it at base level, targeting LSA, and then I attempt to smack and do the extra rate, and I'm doing the extra radiant from divine strikes because that's stapled to my bonking things.
Sorry, I missed about half of that. You're a little garbled.
You wanted to use divine strike?
No. I'm not using it. It's part of my attacks inherently. Cleric thing.
Yeah, I see it. I'm just gonna look at what it actually says. Okay, so... Kerbonk. No. Apparently no Kerbonk.
Even with advantage from flanking?
Oh. Forgot about that. Okay, try again. No, that one did hit. Plus 1d8. I'm just gonna roll the d8. I don't care. That's a 6.
Thank you, DM.
12, 18. Okay, yeah, it looks made of owl.
That's all my. That's all my.
I'm aware. Speaking of flanking, 5, 10, 15. Smaller. This one was almost certainly human. Probably not that long ago. There are tattered remnants of armor on this thing, but it has too many arms that aren't quite, and they are holding swords. This apparently did used to be a guardsman who's come up behind Hazel. And Within. Oh no, that's when starts. Okay. So, weapon attack 1. I think I'll just check Hazel's AC. Strikes me as easier. Nope. That's going to be painful.
Can I do the axe reaction thing?
I don't think it'll do any good because your armor class is 16 and the roll total was a... Where did it go? 21. Would it get you to that point?
Well, I don't know what I can't see.
Oh,
the
of course you can't. No,
description.
let me look. Warcaster, Divine Strike, Healer, Axe, Shield. Adding your proficiency bonus. Yeah, no, tie would go to Defender, so, of course, given the other creature, it's flanking you. Let's just make absolutely sure. No, you're fine. You heard Clarity shout something is coming and managed to turn around and first sword strike bonk against your and the next one, even with advantage, that both misses. But yeah, now you're looking into the face of this was a guard not very long ago. Okay.
Oh boy. Someone put cleric in the corner.
Ava, more noise is happening from behind this thing. And Alice is still getting beaten all to shit, but she did heal some, so clearly Hazel's around somewhere.
I'm going to try and do what I didn't want to do when she was stuck to it, and do Ensnaring Strike.
I just ask why you're using that spell slot when it can't really move past anybody anyway. What good would it do?
I suppose.
I mean, it's looking incredibly rough, and at this point, it's not like you have the... and I'm just flagging this up as another player. There's going to be a lot more fights. Got to be careful of your spell slots right now. Because you don't know what you're going to need later. And seriously, it looks rough.
Alright, well, I'll just do 2 regular shots.
Okay. That hits. That doesn't.
Do I just do 1d6 for the Slayer's Prey, or do I do 2?
1 per shot.
Okay. 1 and an extra 5.
Darvin.
You said me?
Yes, I did in fact say you.
Sorry. Cut off. All right. I will. All sorts of things. I'm going to continue to stay back. Basically going, Remy, get up in there. I'm trying not to get in the way. And I'm going to just do magic missile at first level.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, no, it was dead. It was dead in the second shot.
Oh.
So that one goes flump, but then you're starting to see one of the guards, you think?
Mm-hmm. Hell, that's one of the ones that was left behind. Nobody hits the cleric on my watch. Get him! You know what? I'm going to make that a bonus action. Inspiration die on Hazel.
Okay. So, are you back? Good. You have 1d10 inspiration die.
Yay.
Faraday. Because you're craning that dragonborn neck out. You, and to be fair, they've probably moved a little. So you're basically you're seeing that used to be guard attacking
Yeah.
Hazel and Clarity, and you lean the other way, and you're pretty sure you're hearing more noise from that way. So more are incoming.
Okay. That area is too big and would hit us, so no. I'm just going to do something pretty basic here. I'll move across from Hazel so I'd be flanking it.
Okay. So now you've boxed in the X-Guard.
And then I'm going to shocking grasp it.
Okay.
It's a cantrip.
Of course, you didn't see its non-reaction to lightning. Well, the other
No,
thing's
I didn't.
non-reaction.
Yeah.
The other thing's non-reaction to lightning, but so when it definitely hits.
Takes whatever damage it would take, and
Yeah, except no, these ones aren't. These ones aren't resistant to lightning. They're immune.
oh,
Fucking damn it.
So it's kind of like you zap and it looks at you.
Oh no.
oh,
Oh no.
It's just zap, and you're holding this sort of squishy, meaty thing, and it just looks at you, and just oh.
not much else for me to do. So, oh,
Right. 5, 10, 15. Bonk. You have company.
Oh.
What's your AC?
my AC is 12.
Yeah, no, that's not ending well for anybody.
No.
That was 2 attacks, 13 and 14, plus 5 to hit, so that's total of 8 points of piercing damage and 10 points of necrotic. Clarity, you have more of these little buggers.
Okay. I will do a stabby.
At which one? Well, the one you're currently engaged with. What am I talking about?
Yes. First attack. Woohoo! Natural 20. 9 piercing.
Okay.
Do I get sneak attack on that one?
On that one, probably yes.
Yeah, because it's engaged with Hazel also. So, okay. Do I double that also? Because I critted.
That's what I'm checking now. I'm very tempted to say no, but It appears to be down to DM's perspective. Main reason I'm going to say no for now is because you don't need it anyway.
Okay.
You just whammy it with that one stave.
They're not
just from baseline.
These ones aren't very strong. Well,
What?
not very many hit points anyway. They're still in the process of mutating. So, 5, 10.
They're babies. Sorry. Sorry.
You know I can do so much worse than rocks fall, everybody dies.
Given the setting, yes.
Sorry. Apologies.
Right.
Do I get my second attack?
Oh, of course he's... Fucking hell. I'll move you back there. Yes, by all means.
I'll attack the one. I'll throw a dagger at the one next to Verida. Yeah. Where's that window? Go. There. 12.
No.
Okay.
So we're back to kind of you, because we don't like you, apparently. Also, not overly stabby at you either, for as much as it wants to be. Both missed. Oh.
Okay.
Shit, I forgot. Can Farida, Clarity, and Hazel make me dexterity saving throws?
Oh. 15.
How is it Hazel is the only one that fucking made it? Okay, this is going to be fun.
Because I'm over here.
Well, no, you're no, because you see, what I had forgotten was that these things explode.
These guys have a blast radius on death, don't they?
Yes, they do. So, Clarity and Farida take 11 points of bludgeoning damage, 7 points of piercing damage, and 10 points of necrotic damage.
Jesus.
Halved because of evasion?
Probably, yes.
Okay.
Please tell me what halved is, because that's what Hazel takes.
What was the rolls, though?
Okay. It was 11 points of bludgeoning.
7
points of piercing.
10
and 10 necrotic for a grand total of 28. So Hazel and Clarity actually take 14. I don't think Farad is having a very good day.
But it makes sense.
No, I'm not.
And she's right in the middle of the two, so.
For a reaction to at least get some of the damage, I want to use Absorb Elements, which should give me resistance to the necrotic.
Okay, so that's
until my next turn.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. We can definitely do that. If it decides to stab you again, at the very least, you're going to be resistant to that. Okay. Remy. Yeah, I should point out that that all y'all, at the very least, because of your various talismans, are not having any issues at the moment, but you're probably going to want to prestidigitate relatively quickly, because that was black kerboom, and that's what Remy saw after this thing went thump. Just saw Clarity stab it, and then...
Yeah, unfortunately, Remy still is not getting into range. But she will advance 30 feet.
Okay. Yep. No, you're in range. There's one there.
Oh, I'm not.
You can do
You
can do a diagonal.
Yeah, there isn't a guy on the map.
There is a guy on the map. He's just hard to see.
Oh,
it's just incredibly tiny.
Yeah, sure. Let's start swinging then.
Saw what happened and is still gonna.
Gotta do something.
Yeah. Okay. Well, not dead, but not happy. Second attack. Still not dead, but also looking incredibly bad and incredibly unhappy.
She will use her bonus action Shield Master to shove him 5 feet. Or attempt to.
Can you put the spell card up, please?
No, given their exploding, she will attempt to move him back another 5 foot and back another square.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna. I mean, it's not gonna help Faraday.
Well, only so much to do.
That's very true. Rylan, it's got noisy and explodey out there.
Yeah, it really has, and kind of in a hurry. 5, 10, 15.
5, because you can diagonal
Doing
10, 15,
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
just
from there you can sort of peer around the corner and you can see really big, ugly, mutated thing. Bits of what was probably a mutated guard, like those two that are hanging around in the back. There's a lot of mutated black yick. Clarity, Hazel are kind of spattered in it. Faraday's covered in it.
What the hell happened down here?
But there's still two of them there and there. So it's like, what the hell happened? Oh, peering around the wall. That's what happened.
Those things have happened. Oh god. Oh no.
Are you going to do anything but...
The problem is doing anything may cause them to explode.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. You don't really know why it exploded. Did Hazel just hit it really, really hard?
Oh, that's
heard
annoying.
the story.
That's fair.
You've heard the story about the gassed attempt at pancake.
You know what? I'm just gonna go for just 3 blasts at the one next to Faraday. The one adjacent.
Yeah, because that's the one in your line of sight. So okay.
So fingers crossed the 3 blasts do anything. Probably not on a 9.
That
24 to hit.
Roll damage.
This one will be 10 force.
Okay.
Third blast is a 19.
That hits.
And wow. Max damage and min damage. Doing perfect. Perfectly balanced as all things deserve to be.
Barnabas. There's gonna be some issues because everybody's kind of clumped up in the corridor.
I'd like to argue possibly that I'm like against the back wall so I can have the line of sight for the blasts. Kind of on the diagonal.
Yeah,
honestly,
so at least
I mean, you're gonna if you get as far as Ryland Square, you're gonna see what's going on.
Okay, well, he's gonna move up to Ryland Square, see those things.
Mm-hmm.
How far? If I'm there, how far away are they?
Well, to be fair, you could technically just move because that's 5, 10, 15, 20, and you're right in the thick of it.
Well, alrighty then. In that case, we move and then we swing.
Okay, which one are you swinging at?
Which one looks?
By the way, this one looks very, very injured, and the other one looks less injured.
We'll go for the very, very injured one because Barnabas has not seen the explosive decompression yet.
Yeah, mostly he's just seen splat.
Right.
Okay.
Alright, so let me just double check. Alright, so we are going to go with...
Yeah, can This is actually going to be unfortunate because their blast radius is bigger than just
Oh no,
the
the
5
chunky
feet.
not. Oh no, not the chunky salsa effect. So
It is
So
full
then-
chunky salsa. It's a 10-foot boom.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
So, while Rylan does have advantage because he's got the cover of the wall, can Clarity, Remy, Barnabas, and Farida please make me dex saves?
Oh boy.
Please beat a
So you have a
15.
save at advantage.
Again?
Advantage from the W!
Oh my god, Farida, what?
Oh
My
no.
God!
Like
Oh,
I'm just cleaning stuff off and then
Oh no.
Okay,
Remy
so that's
takes no damage because of Shield Master.
fair enough. Okay, so
I take no damage because of evasion.
I thought it was half damage.
No,
But if you
it's
succeed, you have.
yeah. If you
Oh,
succeed,
okay.
you have it, and if you fail, you no. If you fail, you have it. If you succeed, it's no damage.
Okay. So
It's
that's
great.
Evasion is
point-
good.
11 points of bludgeoning, 6 points of piercing,
Just matrixing the chunks.
and necrotic 4. So Barnabas takes 23. Farida total. Farida takes 20 because she is resistant to the necrotic part of that whole mess.
okay, I'm still standing.
Mostly.
Okay, Barnabas, you've made the one swing and
What was the amount of damage again?
23.
Thank you.
And there's still one left.
Get away! You people know how to shove, right?
Yeah, is there a way to shove like this thing back?
You can literally just make an athletics check.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. I don't want to set two off in a round. That's not the greatest idea in the world.
That does not budget.
Fair enough.
Probably because you're on the diagonal and you're kind of pushing it into the wall, like you're about to ask for its lunch money.
Go pin it and everyone else get back. That'll work.
Yeah, that's until you've got you know what? I'm gonna try something really fucking weird.
Do it.
I'll say feet right to shit, but everybody's over there getting covered with black ick. So 5 flying now, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Grabs this thing. Grabs this thing? Grabs this thing. Sort of swallow dive, yoink. Now she's going to attempt to yeet it. Yeet! That would be action, effectively. Movement, action. So this thing goes whap into wall. And that's gonna be pretty much all she's gonna do at the moment. Just on the basis of somebody with range is going to get this thing eventually. Fairly sure. Sort of sees Barnabas sort of try to shove this thing, and then just whoop and fling. Was that what you had in mind?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool. Hazel.
Multiple explosions. Several people bonked.
Yeah, incidentally, Alice is up, so she's out of the 10-foot radius. I just don't want to put her on her token on top of Farida's token.
absolutely no idea. It's gonna successfully hit, but well, first, let's start with. Yeah, let's start with a cantrip. Baseline.
A
Sacred
cantrip.
Flame. Let's
Thought
go.
so, but dexterity save DC 16. Okay, let's have a look. What's its dex anyhow? Okay. Not that hits. Roll damage.
The damage is auto
Oh, yeah,
rolled as
because
part
it
of the. That's 14 radiant.
Yeah, at which point.
Okay. Clean up, patch job. Everyone, now.
I think that was just about everybody who was down here. It drops the illusion. I think we're all pretty much done with this now.
Mhm.
Darwin will run up look, and just pick random smooched person and start making glinging noises.
You take Barnabas. I'll take Faraday.
Faradell for prejudicitating herself
Of
too.
course you do.
Yeah.
So assist in the prestidigitizing.
Everybody prestidigitate.
Basically.
Was it? Yeah, Ben had one of those. 2, 4, 6, 8. Everyone prestidigitate.
Mhm.
Yeah, eventually clean up happened. Okay, real quick, what we found. Horde's over there. Hazel, don't look in there yet. That's like all the tax money, and you already look like you're about to have a brain issue. Something really nasty is below. We found a trapdoor. We didn't want to go through the trapdoor without you guys. But given this, those guys, the splody guys, they were just guards like 10 minutes ago. They have been feeding them the black shit.
Oh.
Oh! Fuck.
Basically.
Mhm.
It was... yeah, we... Honestly, the guys we impersonated,
Probably the most normal looking.
well, honestly, it was probably the more merciful way to go for the poor fucks. So, yeah, I have a feeling that, also we found stairs over there, but for what you guys... There's a break room. It's a little bloody, but it's probably better than standing out in the corridor. Because the looks on some of you guys' faces suggest to me that we're going to want to have a chat. Partially because we're at break time. So when we come back, we'll discuss what everybody found and what it all might mean. And we're back after some fighting some horrible mutated things. People. Former people. And sort of cramming selves into a little break room. I'm not going to bother moving everybody's tokens, but I am going to remove them. Just so they're not distracting. I mean, there's not a lot of space, given that there's, like, 9 of you, and only 4 chairs, but, and Alice is kind of looking at prestidigitated Faraday and going, yeah, okay, hang on. Reaches up, boop, on the snout, and you get 10 hit points back.
Anyone else need healing?
Probably, but let's take a minute, okay?
Yeah, Remy looks pointedly at Alisai, but she chooses not to hover.
Darvin will softly start kind of humming a little tune and assuming that we're going to be here for a little bit.
I don't
Just
know if it's going to be enough
a
for
short
that
rest.
kind of rest.
Okay,
I
never
don't
mind
know
that.
if we can necessarily afford the time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, last thing I didn't mention while we were out in the corridor, but we're not sure if Palor's Beacon is in there. If Palor's Beacon is in that horde, it is no longer a force for good. Checked it out, and there was no feel of any divine object in and around that area.
Funny that
But there was
you can
something.
sense evil, right?
Yes, there was something bad
But
buried in the
That's
horde.
not what I'm asking about. Let me finish my question, please, Remy. We found the prison. There are people in there who I want to get out and send home via the key.
I think
Certain other folks seem to think that's a trap. I figure Remy can have a look.
Can you do
Yeah,
that again today?
yeah. She can do it 4 times a day.
Well, yes. So this is Alice asking in character. So
Yep. Remy nods.
okay, but
I mean,
we're gonna take a minute to calm down before we do that.
the only thing I can sense though is if there's, evil energy. If it's some other kind of danger.
And I'm taking it that there's
Some of the cells had goo.
that might interfere with things is the problem.
Hazel, are you thinking it's who we saw?
Yep. And there's children in there.
You could.
In the same cell, or
No, a different
Different
cell.
cell, same prison.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry, just making sure.
You
Okay.
could.
Well, I don't think it's a trap.
The LSA could sending to one of your mothers in advance to kind of warn them that we need to help them, but there's a chance there could be a danger. So like they'll be prepared. They can keep them somewhere away from the kids.
There's no place away from the kids, Ree. 3 of the some of them anyway are kids.
Why would they have children down there?
Hostages.
What were they?
They were halflings. 3 of them.
Huh. I mean, I don't know. Relatives of Gray's Inn, because that was pretty much run by halflings. Or something else impossible to know without talking to them.
They need a lot of help. It looks like they've been starving.
Yeah.
What else did you find in there?
A very corrupted rat. Some non-corrupted rats.
Dead turtle, you said,
Long
right?
dead. Yeah, long dead turtle.
What the fuck did they have a turtle here for?
I would love to be able to tell you. And the reason why I was worried it was a trap was the last cell with someone in it. The corruption starts getting worse and worse as you go down, and then it's just gone.
How do you mean?
Well, the corruption was primarily in the 2 middle.
Yeah, out of character, it was not corrupted, a little bit corrupted, very corrupted, not corrupted, not corrupted.
Yeah. I'm honestly probably just being paranoid.
It's not a bad thing, but playing the opposite side of this debate here, any kind of ooze, and I guess this black sludge qualifies, does need at least a crack to get through.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible that there just wasn't. It's possible that it was only those 2 cells that were had just enough space for the stuff to ick through. Might be eating at the
You
mortar.
saw what the rat was an experiment, and they
Or
just left it in there and it oozified outwards.
no, because we think that there's. Remember that big puddle of black shit at Gray's Inn? There's either something like
fuck.
I'm pretty sure there's either something like that or a wellspring itself below us.
I hate this place. I hate this place.
And
I hate this place.
it's entirely possible that it's been looking for ways up through the castle. I mean, maybe it doesn't think the feeding people this shit is going fast enough. I don't know. All I know is that it still needs a crack. However, even if it's not that kind of trap, it could still theoretically be dangerous. Because even not being directly touched by it, unless you've had some kind of protection, even proximity to this shit can drive you insane.
Always ask. Immune.
Sorry, I got about half of that.
Always ask. There are ways of. I have the ability to nudge at Paylor and ask about possible danger.
My own, yes. I'm sorry, I know how heartless I must sound here. However, given what we're going to be fighting, do you have the energy to spare when we don't know what we weren't expecting what we just got?
If we have to, set the explosive and go, what do we do with these people then? We're not going to have time then. We're not going to have the energy then.
Then, at the very least, we are there between potentially dangerous people and those kids, because we would still be having to use that same door. There's a difference between us going with people who might be dangerous and asking in a convenient, quiet moment, and us just sending people.
Yeah, I think.
I'm so worried about us having to set a bomb and immediately book it because everything goes to shit. Am I making sense yet?
You're making sense.
Yeah.
But there's another consideration. At least 3 of us have ways of getting elsewhere.
We could split up on the way out if we have to.
Honestly,
some people escort.
Our best bet at that point, if we had to just set the bomb and book it, would probably be me and Faraday. Because I can keep us airborne, and she can teleport us back to Hearth Home. That gives us enough space, enough mobility, and a way out while you guys escort people who might be dangerous back through the key. But because I understand that in some cases, from what Clarity is saying, they don't have a lot of time, there's one thing we haven't considered doing yet. What if we just talk to them? We start with the kids, because it doesn't sound like you know anything about the lump. But you know there are 3 halfling kids. We've all got bits and pieces of food. Those slot things are as much for putting in the food as they are for looking in on prisoners. We give them some food. We ask them why they're there, who they are. We check on their answers. We don't have to make a decision without any kind of input from the individuals we're concerned about. Sometimes we can ask Paylor, and asking Paylor is fine, but Paylor likes us to do what we can do. And what we can do is talk to people. Determine whether or not they are still people.
Probably a good idea before we decide.
It's the closest to a middle ground it sounds like we're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, Hazel, I understand where you're coming from with wanting to go ahead and get him out now, but
Please, no. Please.
okay,
don't.
fair enough. Sorry. I just wanted to say I get it. That's all.
Yeah, for once, although it sounded like it, there wasn't a but there.
Okay.
No, I was supporting you. You are.
Oh, sorry.
You are. As
You were
weird as
fine. I
know.
You are but less
Dropping it.
in this situation.
Yeah, dropping everything. I'm dropping.
Clarity's gonna go over to Hazel and put an arm around her and just sort of squeeze her.
Sometimes the decisions we have to make are really shit. Now, I do have one question for you, though. Because you are, generally speaking, you're the cleric of Paylor. You are one of the kindest of us. But you're also justifiably upset right now. Do you think you could talk to those kids without scaring them?
That's my worry. I don't know if I'd be able to say anything right now without either doing foot mouth things or being so absolutely furious I terrify somebody.
Okay.
If someone else could lead, that would be great.
Well, we're not all going to pack ourselves in there anyway, because that, from what you guys were saying, it sounds like a dead end. And we're going to want people probably here, probably watching the door.
Mm-hmm.
All things considered, I should probably be at least one of them. I'd say 2, 3 most. But I at least look... Well, I mean, I'm kind of the antithesis of all the black gunk around this place. Farida, I'm not entirely sure you should be there, because I don't know how they feel about dragons right now. Well, you're muted. Or...
It's probably a good idea, and I do have a tendency to be entirely too honest.
Well, I mean, that's probably not that much of a problem, because I don't think they're going to ask how they look, so you wouldn't have to worry about telling 3 halfling kids that they look like hammered shit, so... But, still. I have to get a laugh occasionally. It's the bard thing. Yeah, Clarity, Barnabas, probably the same for you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if the kids would either find me adorable or frightening, and I don't want to take the chance.
There is no in between, unfortunately.
How much of
Nope.
you did... who was looking through the peepholes?
Me.
So they might have already seen you. So it might actually be a good idea for it to be you and me.
Okay.
Because then at least they know that you weren't checking to see if they were, I don't know, ready for eating yet.
Okay.
We'll talk.
Yeah, I can see.
We'll talk to the kids. We'll come back with a report. We'll see how Hazel's feeling after that. Because I know why talking to that other potential individual is important to you. Okay? And it kind of goes to the other side of Hazel from Clarity and Squish.
Thanks.
And gives a rummage through her bag. Looking to see if I have something that's halfway reasonable for kids that haven't eaten much in a while. We have the bread basket, don't we?
Yeah, I was about to ask what was being served up today on that.
Well, I'm talking about the bread, not the. I was thinking bread and like preserves.
Oh, my bad.
Rather than too much sweet might kind of overwhelm them, and at least preserves gives them some fruit,
Nutrients.
vitamin
Gotcha.
things, and so sort of rummage. Yep, rummages around and pulls out some bread rolls. Preserves. Hand of fate time. What did you get? You got Mom's strawberry rhubarb. Oh, cool.
Just handing that directly over.
And spread.
Like, I'm personally fond of it, but doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, for you it's more the apple cranberry though, because you're fond of all of them, but the apple cranberry, if I remember, was the it.
Yeah, the apple cranberry was delicious. So.
Yes, the hand of fate was one that was good and would be good and nutritious for them. Not so exotic, not one of the exotic ones you picked up in Alamavere, because that would probably be a bit much for them, but not so high that it was your absolute favorite and you'd hate to part with it.
Yeah.
There was a
in
range.
General, yeah, plus could be any number of things I picked up in Eggref, given how much of a grocery store I bought at once.
Yes. I mean, actually, no. Hand of fate it again. And yeah, you did actually pull out 2 jars, but one of them was this maple treacle stuff.
That's probably too thick.
Not enough fruit either, but be interested in that at some point. I also really just want you to dump out your bag of holding and actually work out what the hell you picked up in Eggref, because I don't think even you remember anymore.
I don't. I just started buying things at the store and didn't stop.
Yes, as I recall, what you told me was that I guessed right when I suggested that you may have just run an arm down the first row of everything on every aisle and just blunk.
Essentially, yes.
Come on, Barnabas. Let's see about some kids.
All right.
The peek out around. Well, nobody's making any kind of noise out here, so I mean, I'm assuming the walls in there are at least relatively thick. So, if you guys get any kind of inclination that somebody might be coming down here, yell or something. I don't know.
There'll be plenty of noise, most likely.
And I hang on. How far is message get?
120, I think.
Okay.
You could probably about manage it, but you're probably still not gonna want to burn the spell energy.
Yeah, true.
It's not like we're gonna be able to nap.
Okay, that's fair.
Just make noise. We're not that far away, and just a bit of warning is enough.
Gotcha. Okay.
And she's
Actually, for the record, message is a cantrip, so never mind.
okay either way, but yeah. And heads out before Remy can particularly register the fact that apart from Hazel's healing word, she hasn't stopped to be properly healed yet.
I mean, to be fair, Barnabas hasn't sought any healing either whatsoever, so.
Yeah, but to be fair, he wasn't. Was he even? Well, I mean, apart from the one splody, Barnabas. I should flag up as you were stepping into the jail area. LSA was bitten once, clawed once, smacked by tentacles twice.
Okay. All right.
From her 111 hit points, she is down to 48.
Okay.
So yeah, he finally notices that as they're walking into the prison corridor. It's like, I probably should have asked somebody to, and then looks at oh.
We probably should have gotten ourselves a little healed up before doing this.
We'll give them a minute, and we're gonna go back between the kids and your trap. I don't blame you, by the way, but
I feel like an asshole for thinking it, but
no, it's you see, that's the thing. It's not that you thought it. It's you're very direct. Remember how Farida was saying that that she tends to be a little too honest?
Oh, I'm right there too.
Yeah. You're great. We're great with analysis and that kind of thing. What we need for you is some diplomacy. We'll work on it.
We'll work on it. So, do you want me to talk to the kids first since they saw my face already?
Well, give it a start, and we'll go from there.
All right.
You're the one who knows which door.
Barnabas goes to whichever door it was. Brian doesn't remember exactly either.
That one.
Gotcha. Opens the slit up and tries to see if the kids react.
Make me a perception check because they're already kind of huddled.
Gotcha. They could be playing in a brass band for all I
know. Well, to be fair, it's more that you're peering in, and there was a bit more light from other people before, and it's dark in there. Because that technically should have been at disadvantage, but I'm not going to bother because that was a fucking 4. You're suddenly realizing Alice is the one with dark vision.
Right. Hello.
You hear when you hear the hello, you hear beep. That's about it.
Oh, shit.
You can't see shit, can you?
No, I can't. Take a look.
She has to. She's a not quite stands on tiptoe, but you know that little crane. Hi. Actually spins up the halo. You just get. Yeah. I know we're weird, but we're checking in because not to put too fine a point on it, you're kind of stuck in a jail full of asshat, and I kind of wondered if you wanted that to still be the case. There's actually a very, very quiet giggle from one corner, and you said a swear.
I think they're fine.
Sometimes humor is the best way. Why does he look like the scary man? He doesn't sound like the scary man. He is not the scary man. He is my friend. The scary man, this is my adoptive brother. He is a very good man. The scary man is a dick waffle.
Barnabas
Nice.
completely fails to maintain composure at Dick Waffle.
And to be perfectly honest with you, my friend Barnabas here doesn't like the Dick Waffle Man giving his species a bad name.
Ain't that the truth?
So, Barnabas here has plans to take the Dick Waffle Man and twist him into a pretzel. Do you know what a pretzel is? Kinda. Well, imagine big beefy man with a bull head, all in black fur and possibly syrup of some kind, because Dick Waffle. The kids are still just giggling. And twisted into a pretzel. More giggling. How long? Sorry.
I'd say I'd take my time with it too.
I'm trying to amuse them, not scare them. How long have you kids been in here? Okay, no, that'd be hard to tell, particularly if they're not feeding you very much. Okay, when did they put you in here? Like, was there any festival nearby or anything like that? Feast of Bayory? That's harvest season. That's months ago. And they haven't been feeding you very much, have they? No. Well, okay. We're going to start with, I have rolls with strawberry rhubarb preserve. Can any of you guys get up there and sort of take it so I don't drop it on the floor? Sticks, hand through. And you hear, it just hands them through. And we're going to see how you fare with those. And then I'm going to confer with my adoptive brother here. And we're going to see about getting you to at least a room with some light in it and slightly more food. And we'll go from there. And it doesn't shut so that the light from her halo can actually get to anything. You know, I don't think they're a trap.
No.
I don't know about the other one, but I also think Hazel would draw and quarter me if I let those kids be that much more hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Probably I'd have to kick my own ass, which I could theoretically do. I am bendy, but, you know, and more giggling. Oh, good. They're leaves droppers, too.
Good. Okay.
But at the very least, while I have a chat with these ones, and I'm also the one who can work locks, can you go back there and suggest maybe removing the bodies and prestidigitating the floor?
Good call.
Because at the very least they can sit down.
All right, I'll be right back.
Then Barnabas trots back in.
Okay. Kids that look to be fine. Alice had a great suggestion because we're going to want to bring him in here. We might want to get rid of the bodies and prestidigitate the floor a little bit. For those of you who can do that.
I'll help move the. Yeesh.
Yeah, so the stronger ones can probably help with the bodies.
I'll start taking care of the floor.
I'll help with the floor.
Yeah, same.
Remy will stay on watch.
Remy's one of the stronger ones.
Yep, that is true.
Rylan and Ava could probably stand watch while Hazel, Remy, and Barnabas, at the very least, shift the bodies around a corner somewhere.
Yeah.
Because team human passing did a number.
Mhm.
Just wrecked their shit very, very quickly.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, they didn't have class levels. At least you got to them before any mutation happened, which is nice.
Definitely a mercy.
Mm. And yeah, so you kind of shift the bodies. Probably have to kind of shove the splorched bits as well, just in case they peer down a corridor or something. But a few minutes and you get them you get things relatively cleaned up.
I don't know about the rest of you, but this is the most I've ever wanted a mop in my life.
But they've already, that's the thing, they've prestidigitated it all, so you've, instead of magic mouth, it's magic mop.
Okay.
So you're like, I wish I had a mop, and you're looking at these guys just, and Darvin doing gling, 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 glingity gling.
Never mind.
I currently see him as Mickey Mouse directing the mops.
Hopefully with better success and a little less water involved.
Well, you're not actually directing mops with buckets, so, but it's still the look. It's just he starts, with the full, yeah.
I'd also hope if Darwin was doing it, if Night on Bald Mountain started playing, he would know enough to run.
Let's face it, this place so far has been the physical embodiment of Night on Bald Mountain.
That's the damn truth.
So, yeah, I mean, Alice A is more than likely going to wait until Barnabas comes and tells her that the coast is clear.
Which he will as soon as it is.
Yep, and when it is, you trot back and you've got Alice A will have taken 20 on that lock, frankly, and she's got kind of one kid in one arm, other kid in the other arm. We've got a third. Do you want to...
Be happy to.
The one who's sort of still lit up by the halo is a little girl. I mean, you're not getting much in the way of color, but you're just getting kid, twin braids. I mean, you're probably really bad with halfling ages, just because they start so small in the first place, but young. If Evan's size is any indication, she's probably only a couple of years older than Evan. So we're past toddler at least, but you get this timid little...
Hi, what's your name?
Cora,
It's nice to meet you, Cora. I'm Barnabas. Would you like a lift?
please, and got shoes. None of
Come
them
here.
have shoes.
Oh, he picks her up.
You get sort of a little bit of hesitation and then boom. You're comfy.
Thank you.
And make their way back into the room, and these three kids are just peering at everybody like, that's a lot of people. Alice says, okay, let's do some introductions. I mean, you've met my adoptive brother, Barnabas. That's my wife. Very proud of my wife. Remy. That's Faraday, one of the brightest people I've ever met. Second only to Clarity, but only because of life experience. That would be Clarity. She's a tiefling. Tieflings are people. Okay. Oh, he's not black like the Dick Waffle Man. My adoptive sister, Ava. Darvin, Valor Bard extraordinaire. Rylan, who can make adorable pets out of shadows, but probably not here because the shadows here are just stupid and no.
Speaking of adorable
They
pets,
don't like us very much.
And Cora from Barnabas is just fluffy.
Yep.
Pat, 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 and just nuzzle, 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 nuzzle. Yes, that would be butterscotch. And this is Hazel,
You
devotee of Paylor. Hi.
holding up the amulet.
And from one in Barnabas's arms is just Cora, Malcolm, Marie. Apparently, they've been not so much enjoying the hospitality of this place since the Feast of Bayory.
that long?
Oh!
Plunks them down into chairs. Yeah, I hate to have to say this to you kids, but Oral Miss was last month. Oh. But since you manage the bread so well, I'm sure we can give you some semblance of an Oral Miss feast. As Hazel here has this nifty little magical device that heats up pastries, and I'm pretty sure she's got some savory ones to give you some protein. And then maybe if your stomachs manage that well, there's the infinite pastry basket.
I'm already producing the toaster.
Yeah, toaster and the egg ref equivalent of Hot Pockets.
Yeah, the
And
ones that actually, because this toaster's built for all of it, can clearly still fit an entire as.
yeah, in a sort of a less bag of holding and more handy haversack with heating elements kind of way.
I still don't know how this does that, but it does it.
Magic.
Yeah, but my question is usually which magic? I mean, Clarity will obviously be taking notes when somebody answers,
Yeah, but
so I ask too.
But wasn't she gonna audit courses at the Egg Ref Academy when we're done saving the world? So she
That
might find
too.
out.
I'm being a little ridiculous to be ridiculous.
No, and that's good, but I'm kind of yes-anding the ridiculous because the way I figure it is that Clarity is not only taking notes about the kinds of questions that she might want to ask, but she'll make an addendum list of exactly which courses she would need to audit to learn about the things. So she's writing up a curriculum even as we speak.
Ideas.
You are an absolute genius, and I love you. Is gonna sort of slightly hip check Clarity.
And the three kids are looking at you, and Cora is just like, "You're all adventurers?" More, well, no, I think they're all selling themselves a little short. Not just adventurers, we're heroes. Rylan, stop stepping on my lines. The kids just start giggling.
I didn't even say anything.
Maria's just, we can see your face, right?
I was laughing out of character at the thing Darvin did.
I don't care if you don't tell me what you're doing. He's just new. He's not quite ready to accept the mantle of hero for himself yet.
Give it time.
Well, honestly,
Everything
though,
takes time.
from what I've been told, Rylan there, they did a significant heroic. I'll tell you the story. There's this there was this horrible inn called the Blind Harpy. These guys braved the Blind Harpy when it was actually being run by people, and it was bad. Rats and bed bugs, and everything tasted like cabbage, even the beer. You get wrinkled nose. Yeah. But we had to go back through there because we were going to go solve some problems at Gray's Inn. You know from Gray's Inn? Come from there? I think I get it, but I'll ask later. Story time. Turned out that some of this made of asshole problem we're having right now, still giggling in the you said a swear kind of way, it was there too. There were bad dragons, not like the nice shiny dragons, but bad dragons. Layered up in the basement, and in the actual inn itself, there was creature. Lots of arms. She's not going to talk about the fact that it was a pile of corpses. It leaves it lots of arms. And it grabbed hold of Clarity and it crushed her up. And it tried to grab hold of Hazel, and she managed to get out of it, just about. And they were all fighting this thing. It turned out this thing could throw lances. Big, long spikes. Chucked it right at Rylan, right through their shoulder, and onto the floor. And we got to see Rylan in their element. Pulled that spike right out of their shoulder, yelled at this thing to then does Rylan's voice, but a booming, heroic Rylan voice rather than a freaking out Muppet voice like he'd actually done. Let go of my friends! And he threw bolts of eldritch energy at it, and it just kerboomed. And very quietly, trying not to talk with their mouths full, but, just, yay! Why do I, in somewhere out of character, why do I somewhere in the back of my head imagine Darwin taking notes?
Because he is, probably.
He literally is!
Yep.
Yeah, no, she's not paying attention to that. She's just, You said they. Well, yeah. Their pronouns go from nervous to hero, depending on the situation, you see. I personally think that the nervous is just a ruse to make all the baddies underestimate them. So they'll overlook them, and right when you least expect it, boom! See? Hey, look at Rylan. Yay!
I do sell myself short sometimes. Huh?
Face it, you're a big damn hero.
Ain't they just? Right. We're gonna have a little bit of a hero confab here. So, I think I've still got some of our old furs in the bag of holding, as that can't have been comfortable. So why don't you guys nap here for a little while, now that we've got some food into you? And when we're ready to get you out of here, because we are getting you out of here, by the way. I figured that probably went without saying, but We didn't just move you from really terrible place to slightly less terrible place. We are not asshats. And we'll keep being all heroic, okay? Pulls out a couple of the Buck furs and tuck. They're out like lights pretty much immediately. You know, they're not in the scary place, and they've got full bellies, and they have heroes, and so it's just pretty much immediate. I figured you'd have probably killed me if I'd left them there with just the bread rolls.
So, I think best thing to do now is to go check.
And Barnabas and I are going to do that. We will come back with a report, same as Barnabas did the last time. It was just in this particular case, when they first started giggling at Dick Waffle, I was pretty sure that bad things don't giggle at Dick Waffle.
Yeah, Dick Waffle is usually a very good character.
Yeah, Barnabas pretty much lost it. Asshatty man, his Dick Waffle just...
You do realize when we do actually have face to face, I'm probably gonna have to call him Dick Waffle to his face.
The other one that really amused the hell out of Darwin was Tit Nibbler.
I actually used that at one point myself. Sort of.
It implies babyhood.
It's not where my mind went.
No, but probably not where Hazel's mind went either. Okay, I know that I'm tempting fate here because kids, but they're out like a light, so I'm trying to imagine that variety of tit nibbling with those teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Cause I'm just pointing at Rylan. You finally got it. You haven't been giggling this entire time, and now all of a sudden, elf chortle. You've been nervous. Now you're back to hero.
Well, briefly hero, now back to nervous.
If it was there, I completely missed it.
We're going from nibbling at nipples being the infantile thing to the sex thing. Which you would have no idea about. If you're ever that way inclined, you're in for some surprises. I swear, one of these days I'm just going to take you to the Tipsy Pixie and see what happens.
You just see the gears turning. Is like, is that a bar, a club, or is it like
It's
some
my
weird euphemism?
It's my previous place of employment. They have sex for money.
What?
I sold personal services.
Stop questioning it.
That's how I met these guys.
No, we didn't all do that.
That's not where my brain went.
I'm surprised that's where your brain went. I mean, it couldn't have been all of us anyway, because Barnabas and Farad and Clarity weren't there at the time.
I'm aware.
No, you are aware. Rylan might not be.
I came a little bit after.
Can we please change the topic of conversation now?
I mean, I still need to figure out where I lay and all of that kind of stuff.
You
There's
were
a choice of words.
you were like 10 last month. You have time.
Yeah.
So
Fine.
does Rylan. But one day I'm gonna take you both to the Tipsy Pixie and I'll buy you the flirtation sample pack, and you can figure things out there. Ava's had the flirtation sample pack. She seemed to really enjoy it.
Clearly had a good time.
It was pretty nice.
Oh, they're so easily scandalized. It's adorable. Hey, Ree, we should tell Rylan how your parents met.
No, we should not. Rylan's right. We should change the topic.
I want to hear this now.
Wins just
Nope,
because
don't
we've got
we
ready to
have
fluster.
things to do?
Ferret is curious. It'll take 2 seconds. Bree found out that her father was a brass arrow, and that he met Corey in the Tipsy Pixie. They do lose more staff that way, I believe was her comment, you said?
Particularly by Crestwitons.
Yeah, Emil was going, what is it with you Crestwins? Doing his voice perfectly, but yeah.
Apparently, it's a family tradition.
Apparently.
You gotta leave him laughing. It's been a tough one.
Yeah.
Right. Now that we've blown off a little bit of steam, Barnabas and I will go and check on Ken.
Careful.
Step in, and it was to remind Barnabas it was that door so he can flag it up to Alice. That one.
Yeah, it was that one.
Okay. Spins up the halo and hello? Woman's voice going, please don't ask me to move. Okay, at least you know we're not guards. Why am I not asking you to move? Well, okay, you can ask me to move, but expect me to say no, please? That's not an answer. I would not be in a good situation if I move. Yeah, one time you roll low is when Alice is deciding whether or not she's going to do something stupid. And the lock. And that works out fine. Okay, great. Works on the lock for a moment, steps in. Again, lit up with the halo. Keep an eye, Barnabas.
You got it.
Steps over. Doesn't touch much of anything, but just sort of very carefully nudging bits of the... It turns out to be a fairly tatty cloak when Alice's halo light hits it. Okay, I see the problem, and I don't even think clarity would be able to help with this. Shit. Okay. We're gonna come back once we've figured this out, because I mean, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be doing this if you were already evil. No, probably not. Why are you here? We really don't have time for that conversation. Just, we'll be back. Except, shuts the door. Thinks on it a second. Click. Just in case. She's chained up. wrists, ankles, and neck.
Mm.
Not your average kind of luck either.
Okay.
I didn't get a very good look, but from the looks of things, there's these needles. Anybody tries to unlock those, and she gets a payload of something. And given what this place looks like, pretty sure I know what that would be.
Say I'll give you 3 guesses. The first 2 don't count.
That must be that must be a Ravnica thing. I have to add that to my repertoire. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. But
Okay, well, probably not a trap then if they got her booby trapped like that.
well, she probably is a trap, just
Mm-hmm.
of the less of the let her infiltrate, unless they're being really double bluffy about it, which I guess is possible. But probably more
Yep.
of a let's demoralize and blind rage at least one of us.
Mm-hmm.
I promise I will tell her.
Thank you.
I believe the term you used at one point, you were not aware I was still half awake. I volunteer as tribute.
Mm-hmm.
Boink. Boops the nose. Come on.
Let's go.
Step back in. Good news. Pretty sure that it's who you think it is. And she herself is more than likely not a trap, unless they're a lot smarter than I give them credit for. Bad news. Chained at ankles, wrists, and neck. I saw some kind of needle array. I'm pretty sure it's both magical and mechanical. And those needles are coated with something. I didn't get a good enough look at what to be able to say 100% for sure, but I think Barnabas said it best with I'll give you 3 guesses and the first 2 don't count. So we're going to need to take a sit and think about this, because we can't leave things as they are. But I don't know how we do this without... Honestly, at this point, Hazel, I think this one was for you. To have to either leave her there or accidentally...
We go looking for a key. I can bet that that key is probably going to be somewhere unfortunate or attached to someone unfortunate.
Well, we needed to look around this place a bit more anyway. But I think our best bet at this point is... Because once we go up there, we don't know what we're going to meet. We don't know what we're going to see. We're going to need to at least... Let's see, wait a minute. What am I doing? Barnabas, come with me.
I'm with you.
And walks down around the corridor back to... You pass the big shut double doors, which are pretty obviously the Horde room. And up to the room with the little door and the trap door. I just wanted to be close enough to it to be able to say a few bits of... Oh no, shit, I used that up today. How smart are we? We're not. Right. I'm the one with dark vision. Please don't let me get yanked by anything.
I won't.
Eep. And as she shuts it, you hear wham against the trapdoor. I don't know if it's a wellspring, but there's something with a lot of tentacles down there.
I hope it's not. Assume it is.
Well, I know one thing I'm gonna do, to prevent it from, because now it knows people are here. Bam! Again. Okay. Can you? We have Hazel. Hazel has my axe. We're fine. Can you put your full weight on that for a minute?
Can do.
Yeah, give me an athletics check. Yeah, you're heavy. You're muscly. You're fine. At which point, I mean, the wood is remarkably sturdy. So, I mean, I'm hoping this will help. And we're blowing spell energy. Fuck it. Heat metal on the hinges, and then on the latch. And you kind of see them melt into more or less unusable schunk.
Well, it certainly can't hurt, that's for sure.
If we need to get down there, axe. Lots of axe. But now whatever we do it fast. Hazel can use her key twice. Hazel's gonna have to. It goes back at something of a trot. Okay, I don't know if it's a wellspring down there, but there's a lot of tentacles.
Joy.
Oh.
And I melted the latch and the hinges on that trapdoor. So if we need to get into it, it's going to be with axes. We have those. We're fine. But, Hazel, you can use that key twice, right?
Yep.
Whatever we do, we need to do it fast before that thing breaks through more mortar or whatever it's doing. Kids need to go now. We'll come back for the other when we've done whatever the hell it is we've done upstairs and hopefully found some kind of unlocking mechanism for what's on her. And it goes and like, hey, guys. Remember Hazel over there? Well, she is not just a beloved of Paylor. She is also a Hearthheart. The Hearthhearts are halflings just like you, but older. And they have their house full of kids whose parents aren't around anymore. And she has a magic key. So she's going to send you there where you can get some shoes and some decent clothes. Probably some soup. Maybe porridge. I think it's still morning. Warm food anyway. And lots of kids to play with. How's that sound? They have that. They look around at the rest of you guys. It's like a literal angel is telling us this. This is too good to be true. Are we dead? Then they focus on Barnabas, basically.
It's all true. It really is. So.
Okay.
So come on, let's get you somewhere nicer than this.
She turns around and gives a bit of a murmur. Okay, we know we've got nourishing food for 3. And I sort of walk up to Hazel.
I understand it. This door should work, right?
Yeah, there's a key.
Well, time for a magic trick. Pulling out the necklace with the amulet, and amulet a little bit aside to show where the key is. Key goes in the lock. Open door.
And
Behold, a magic trick.
And it's the last thing you hear before the door shuts behind them because they saw Noop. So it's the last thing you hear is kitty. Clunk.
Good. That's one thing taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Can we quick check the rest of the doors down here?
I'm gonna say, because we're at that time, for the sake of argument, yes. What you find in these various doors is effectively further barracks. Some bedrooms with nobody actually in them. Latrines haven't been maintained in a while. Although you've got to imagine where those holes go. Room full of tubs. I'm trying to imagine lugging kettles of hot water for a bath across the kitchen and across the corridor, and that must have been fun. And basically, captain's office with like adjacent bedroom, and apparently no paperwork whatsoever. Desk, but no paperwork.
Huh.
And
Is it too much to hope that there's a key anywhere in this assortment?
again, because we're at that time, we take, if you take 20, no. There is not a key anywhere in this immediate vicinity. It is probably still with somebody, possibly someone higher up. Alice is just, I mean, I don't think I got the highest ranked person. I don't think that the higher ranked person that I was imitating, that I talked to, was highest ranked person either. This is head of the guard shit. And it's entirely possible that they're upstairs manning whatever inside defense they've got for not King Dick Waffle. Of course, I have to wonder if he's still human, or she. Oh, there's no papers, I have no name. Oh, Darvin, Ava, you can probably take off the other individual's armor by now. And Bree, probably ditch the tab art at this point. Mimicking them is not gonna...
We've discovered they're all mostly goo, if this is any indication.
Oh, yes.
Oh, fuck. It makes me wonder what the mercs are fighting.
All the more reason to get
Think
moving.
about that now.
Yep, and with that, you head up the stairs into the next level of Castle Blackgrown. And we are at that time, so we'll continue this in 2 weeks.